I thought it would be fine to play Dispatch on stream, little did I know how much the shift gameplay would stress me out, but locking in on my own time meant I could enjoy the game fully, which is good, because Dispatch is genuinely really fun and had me go from viewing the Z-Team as a bunch of abrasive jerks to still being a bunch of abrasive jerks but calling them my losers affectionately and sighing to myself that I want you idiots to do well. Not to say I liked all the characters, in fact there was one that my viewers were sure that I would like, but I ended up having very complicated feelings about, so let's get into it, shall we? Major spoilers ahead. If you have not finished the game, do not continue. By now you've probably heard all about Dispatch. It's a game about being a dispatcher for a team of superheroes in the style of a Telltale game. It just so happens that your team of superheroes are actually villains who agreed to join a program meant to reform them rather than continue sitting in jail. We play as Robert, formerly known as the hero Mecha Man, before his mech suit was destroyed while trying to avenge his father's death at the hands of a supervillain called Shroud. Overall, I really enjoyed it. I loved the writing, the voice acting was incredible, the visual style is great, and there's just enough world building to keep things moving without getting too lost in the weeds. Though out of everything we learned throughout the game, the most unbelievable detail to me was Blonde Blazer and Phenomenon being incapable of bedroom activities because his equipment is too alien. You both have mouths and fingers. I refuse to believe this wasn't solvable. I just think you guys weren't together for the right reasons, and Blazer was the only one to realize that. Of all the characters on Z-Team, my favourites ended up being Prism, Coupe, and Malevola, with an admitted soft spot for Waterboy of all people because he is literally wet and pathetic. I can't help but feel that the percentage of people who cut Coupe instead of Sonar were greatly influenced by the fact that Sonar is voiced by Mr. Moist Critical himself, which, understandable, but I am more influenced by Coupe being a cool goth lady. So who did my viewers think I would really like? Invisigal, obviously, the snarky mean girl voiced by Laura Bailey, which you'd think would work on me, and yet. My issue is twofold, one more personal than the other. Firstly, this workplace is an HR nightmare, but no one makes it more so than Invisigal, whose power is to stay invisible while she is holding her breath. The first instance of this is Robert changing out of his superhero suit and into more office work appropriate clothing. It's revealed that Invisigal is sitting in a chair right next to him, watching him strip to his underwear. She's only found out by accident when Robert carelessly tosses his suit aside, and it lands on her. She can't have been napping in there, because again, her power works by her holding her breath. She later laughs with the rest of the team about seeing him in his underwear, making it a point of humiliation that no one treats seriously. A major escalation comes along when she has a sex dream about Robert one night and proceeds to make it his problem by invisibly stalking him throughout the work the rest of the day. She even goes into the men's bathroom while he's shirtless and minding his own business, picking glass out of his chest to tell him about said dream and aggressively come onto him, only dissuaded by a bout of admittedly unpleasant-sounding bowel movements by Waterboy in the stalls. This would not be treated so lightly if their genders were swapped. Invisigal being a relatively slight average height woman doesn't make this cute or permissible. A woman doesn't have to physically hurt you to cause distress or discomfort, though she certainly can.
Feel bad. Good. Fuck you.
You gonna eat those Twinks?
That's not what they're... You know what? Help yourself.
All of her behavior towards Robert becomes particularly foul when it's revealed that she is the one who planted the bomb on his suit, destroying it and putting him in hospital for months. Everything she says about him not being a real hero, being a turtle without his shell, and playing a video game in a suit your daddy built is a direct result of her actions. And she still acts like that towards him. And yet, I still did my best to try and push her in the right direction as a villain trying to be a hero. My version of Robert forgave her for planting the bomb, which leads me to my other issue. The other issue that I am more than aware has come about because of my own personal issues that I have been slowly working through this year. You can try to be encouraging at nearly every turn. You don't even have to romance her in order to keep her from regressing, which paired with the previous point, it's wild how obviously the game wants you to do that, but she can still end up resorting to villainy at the final scene. Maybe. At the same time, how much slack do you cut someone who is struggling before the choices they make outweigh your responsibility to counterbalance them? This left me sour more than anything else, because I was being encouraging and forgiving when I thought it mattered. I wasn't mean-spirited, I tried to be fair, I tried to be reasonable, but when that turn to villainy happened, it felt like nothing I did mattered if my help wasn't perfect and single-minded to the exclusion of everything and everyone else. The fact that there is a behind-the-scenes point system with a threshold you have to reach in order to prevent her return to the dark side makes it feel even weaker, like it didn't matter when you choose to support her, just that you supported her always through everything, even when her choices led to someone almost dying to save her from her own reckless decisions. And that sucks. It sucks a lot when you think you're being reasonable and it isn't enough because that person wants you to prop them up on your shoulders like Atlas, no matter how crushing the weight gets. Is that dramatic? Probably, but I think it shows how someone's personal experiences can change how they interpret a story and the characters they're in. A younger version of me without these experiences probably would have felt guiltier and immediately started another run to fix the mistakes. Now, it isn't that I don't care, I just don't think it's fair or healthy to make one person responsible for your mental and emotional well-being, and to then blame them if they can't hold you back from your own repeated bad decisions. Maybe later in life I'll feel differently, more forgiving, more gracious, and certainly I want to be, because I want to be able to give people the chance to improve and get better. I don't want to be someone who can't. As of right now, however, I'm just not that person. But on a brighter note, I do genuinely recommend playing Dispatch if you haven't already. It's a lot of fun and the writing is some of the best I've encountered in a while. You really do start off hating these dumbasses only to want the best for them by the end, including Invisigal. That's all. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment down below for the algorithm gods. Special shout out to my YouTube members and patrons who are all very handsome people. If you'd also like to be called a very handsome people, you can support what I do here or check out the link in the description. Members and tip jar patrons get their name in the credits, while patrons of the nerd tier will occasionally get behind the scenes content and video teasers. If you enjoy live streaming, I can be found over on Twitch, where I typically stream every Wednesday at 8 PM British time. But for now, don't forget to drink your water, take your medication, be kind to yourselves, and I will see you all next time.